Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond with a video introduction to the first video of my new series. It's called Cutter Simpsons Unhinged. I take a look at one key episode from each of the 37 seasons. Of course, season 37 is the current one, and yes, I do have a topic at hand for season 37. But I take a look at one episode per season, and it doesn't have to be the best or the worst. It just has to be one that I got to be talking about. And this first one is the season 23 winner called Lisa Goes Gaga. I know it's one of the worst episodes in Simpsons history, but the fact of the matter is I will be talking about it and then, of course, referencing other Simpsons episodes and basically talking about other stuff. But yeah, season 23 was huge because you had the Holidays of Future Past episode, which was supposed to be kind of the Simpsons finale if the contract negotiations weren't going to work. You know, about the Christmas episode. And then you also had the 500th episode, At Long Last Leave, when the Simpsons are forced to leave Springfield because of their antics. Homer's drunken antics, Marge basically making her family positive, Bart's pranks that are not as funny as they are basically destructive, and Lisa's causes that everyone's tired of. So yeah, and that was the episode. The Simpsons are forced to the Badlands, and Homer and Marge sneak into Springfield, and Marge is upset, and everyone turns out that they decided to move Springfield to the Outlands. But Lisa Goes Gaga wins for me because it's an episode that needs to be talked about. Are there any positives from this? Not really. Are there negatives? A lot. But anyway, this is the season 23 winner. And this is Lisa Goes Gaga, or as I call it, Lisa Goes Gaga, I Go Gaga, for all the wrong reasons. Jerk Homer, Marge's worries, Bart's pranks, Lisa's causes, Maggie not talking a lot, Grandpa being senile, Patty and Selma boring Marge, Artie Sif is a jerk, Chief Wiggum making things happen. Mr. Burns being a dick. You can never stop the Simpsons. Heaven knows they've been trying for years and they still come back for more. 37 seasons is a bit much, don't you think? It's a crazy Simpsons. Something happens. A do 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 do. This is not a clip show. Have no fear. I've got topics for years. This picture sympathizes with someone talking with Lisa when Lisa's depressed and all that. Her name is Lady Gaga. Remember her? There have been many songs that Lady Gaga has done and all that. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but Lady Gaga comes into the season 23 finale of The Simpsons and does her job. So, this is the synopsis of the episode in question called Lisa Goes Gaga. Here we go. It was the final episode of season 23. Lady Gaga actually passes through Springfield via a train on her way to a concert, but her self esteem meter makes her stop in Springfield to cheer up the whole city. However, everyone in town seems to be okay but Lisa. Lisa, in a student assembly, was voted the most unpopular student by her peers. Lisa then decided to try to turn things around by ghostwriting positive things about herself on a school blog. Unfortunately, Bart finds out about this and reveals it to the school, which makes her social ranking plummet to a new low until someone says to Lady Gaga that Lisa needs help immediately. So Lisa then decides that to listen to Lady Gaga, but Lady Gaga, with her mean outfits and basically a lot of outfits and all that, causes Lisa more problems than she's trying to save, as Lisa now is getting angry about the fact that Lady Gaga won't leave her alone. At a concert, she points out Lisa to everybody, even though Lisa says, I don't want your help. Lady Gaga says, I'm not going anywhere until you get the help you need. So basically, a lot of people shit on Lisa and all that. And Lisa ends up having to try to fix things. Lady Gaga keeps trying. Lisa finally decides to outburst at Lady Gaga, who's crying diamonds, which is weird. But Lisa then realizes that that outburst helped her because she was expressing her anger instead of bottling up. Lisa is told that Lady Gaga's mission is successful. So Lisa decides to apologize and they perform a duet together. And of course, Springfield realizes that being oneself is better than being like anyone else. Of course, sometimes that just does not work out and all that. So, anyway, so this episode was broadcast as the season finale in 2012. Part, and all that. Over 4.7 million viewers watched it. They would have to face competition from 60 Minutes, America's Got Talent, and the Billboard Music Awards. Anyway, there were a lot of negative reviews and varying responses and all of that. Unfortunately, people called it a massive Lady Gaga commercial and all of that. So the big question is, what is the topic sentence of this episode? Well, it's basically celebrity cameos gone wrong. Lady Gaga wasn't the first or the last celebrity to have a celebrity cameo just basically be all about herself and ruin the product. We all know about Elon Musk in his episode basically being wooden still and basically not helping the Simpsons cause. There were a few other ones that I can't think of off the top of my head, but the fact of the matter is that Lisa Goes Gaga was just an episode shitting on a Simpsons character and all that. There have been many episodes that just want to crap on a character and all that. One that comes to mind is Bart when he drops the baseball at the ball game. And yes, that will be a future video. Like, the town just goes after Bart for making that one little boo boo. And the problem with that episode is that Bart gets harassed by the Springfield people while playing at Shelbyville. And even worse, when Bart gets recognized at that baseball convention, the fans boo him, and Shelbyville beat Springfield. They should have been laughing at him, if anything. But anyway, Bart goes off a water tower. Fortunately, he's uninjured. Well, he's injured, but he's not that bad. But the town just basically keeps berating Bart until Marge finally snaps and tells the town, "What have you done?" and all of that. And they try to help Bart out with the ball game, which Bart keeps missing those balls. There have been plenty of episodes to crap on Homer with the fact that, you know, this stuff, but sometimes Homer does deserve it. What about Marge? Episode crapping on Marge? Well, the pretzel episode crapped on Marge because it seemed that Marge was not willing to invest and lose money. I mean, she's a housewife, she's on a limited budget. Homer doesn't make that much money. And then the fact of the matter is that, that she gets kicked out of her investment club. She finds something with pretzels, but the investorettes do a PETA wagon that just basically wants to crap on Marge, destroy Marge's credibility, and force her out because, they don't like Marge's tactics. So unfortunately, that means that Homer decides to get Fat Tony and his mafia to help destroy PETA Pit and put the pretzel wagon up in good standing. Unfortunately, though, Fat Tony wants money. Marge and Homer refuse to give him money, and then the investorettes put the Japanese mafia to try to destroy Marge. There's been episodes crapping on Lisa, like I can't remember one off the top of my head. That episodes crapping on Maggie. Well, you don't really crap on Maggie. So yeah, this was kind of a low self-esteem thing for Lisa because of the fact that she's being voted the worst popular student. I mean, Lisa doesn't help her own cause, to say the least. I mean, Lisa's views, her outbursts, impressionism, and all that in which I actually compared her to another Simpson-ish by the name of Emma Simpson. Well, Emma Nelson on Degrassi Next Gen, and you should watch that video in my YouTube channel. But the fact of the matter is that Lisa doesn't help her own cause and all that. It's like me sometimes with my autism. Like, I don't have my own cause and just pissing off people unintentionally, of course. But the fact is that Lisa does not get in everyone's good graces and all that. It's stupid. I mean, the town just goes after Lisa because she's outspoken and she's 8 years old. And Lisa, at times, basically lets her outspokenness cloud her judgment and all that. Even in the one episode in Vancouver when they went to the Olympics, because Marge and Homer were doing mixed curling, and we will talk about that episode in a future one, is that Lisa, after losing her pearls to get a Olympic pin, basically says that without her pearls, she's just a big Maggie. Basically, Lisa has self-esteem issues, and we all know Lisa has self-esteem issues. Moaning Lisa, season 1, led to Lisa's problems, saying that how could she play a song where people are struggling? And of course, Mr. Largo doesn't help matters. But the fact is that, Lisa is told to change her tone by Marge, but then Marge backtracks, saying it's making Lisa more miserable. Lisa at times really feels miserable about things and all that. I mean, I don't blame Lisa one bit. She doesn't really have much of a friend group outside Janie, who has disappeared in a sense. Bart likes to torture her to the point that Lisa finally gets, in one episode, a restraining order against Bart and actually is a lot better. But then Marge makes her realize that Bart and Lisa need each other. You also got the fact that, Homer pays little attention to Lisa and all that. The few and far between times that he does pay attention to Lisa is because of his own greedy interests, including Lisa the Greek, in which he gets Lisa to help make money on gambling and all that. Instead of just looking at the father daughter dynamic, it's just basically for his gain. Although Homer does backtrack. And, she is similarly jealous to Maggie. I mean, Maggie gets a better IQ score from her. Well, at first, everyone thought that Maggie was smarter than Lisa, and then Lisa goes through an identity crisis. However, it's found out that Maggie actually did well because Lisa subconsciously helped Maggie out with that little interview. So Lisa's IQ's jumped up and all that. It's kind of simply jealousy because, Lisa is upset that everyone points to Bart instead of her. In the episode Barthood, Bart actually, we talk about how Bart is basically mistreated by Homer in a sense, and Bart is psychologically being tortured by Homer. And Bart basically thinks that everyone thinks Lisa's the better kid, but Lisa says no, everyone thinks you're the better guy, and gets Bart to be an artist. So anyhow, so this episode is Lisa at one of her lowest points. Everyone votes her as the least popular student. I mean, come on. It kind of makes sense because Lisa's outspoken. I mean, Principal Skinner kind of is upset with some of her tactics. I mean, like, students are upset that Lisa is outspoken and all that. And, the lack of friends, that was the big one. But for sure, Lady Gaga does not help matters. As people said, it was a 30-minute commercial about Lady Gaga. So, in essence, that is not good. But, I mean, Lisa does realize that she shouldn't be bottling in her insecurities. She should be making outbursts and all that. Although her outbursts have ticked off people. But for me, Lisa is a pretty good person and all that. I mean, yeah, she's loud, opinionated, and basically people just don't like her. But she has her human moments, and she's only 8 years old. Maybe she stops doing that stuff later in years. I mean, her later years, as put in the future episodes, is basically settling with Milhouse or even Nelson. I mean, I think a lot of people would want her with Nelson more than Milhouse because Lisa doesn't really have the crush for Milhouse as much as Milhouse has for her. That's just me. So anyway, Lisa going gaga is basically her just getting angry and finally dealing with the fact she shouldn't let things bottle in. Unfortunately, though, there are episodes after season 23 that she does bottle it in, and she shouldn't. The one thing she doesn't bottle in at times within the 37-year run is her disdain for Marge. Because it seems that Marge is trying to get Lisa into her image. And Lisa at times realizes how bad Marge's image is, especially with the fact that Homer and Bart basically are unthankful to her. So Lisa outbursts at Marge, saying, I will not be like you. And Marge takes it personally and is pissed off and actually gives Lisa the cold shoulder and helps Bart with his stuff with Nelson. Marge can be a little bit of a guy. I can't think of the word right now, but anyway, Marge could be a little more could be vengeful, but I mean, at times she's okay and all that. There is a reason why Marge seems to be vengeful, and the problems, and I'll get to that later. But the fact is that Lisa going Gaga was just pure Gaga, and Lord knows everyone tries to get past this episode. I do too. It's just a 30-minute episode about Gaga, and she just wouldn't leave Lisa alone because she wanted a mission, and everyone thought it was a Christ-like complex. Maybe, maybe not. But anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Thanks for watching this first episode in the series. I do.